Hello everybody and welcome back. The live stream is about to begin momentarily, and soon I'll start answering all of your questions about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any questions at all about this industry, stay tuned and I promise I'll give you some answers. As a reminder, if you have a direct question for me, please use @Mateo311 down in the chat when asking. And if you want to help support this channel, go click the thumbs up right now. Now the stream will be starting soon, but in the meantime, enjoy the montage.
We gotta figure out their plans. I can see them.
This world is not ready for peace.
Now his chaos reigns.
The universe demands a guardian. And with each possession, you will grow stronger.
Wow, look at that, guys. Look at that. I actually extended the intro like I promised 17 months ago. Look at that. You guys proud of me? How's everybody doing today? I am back live. I see you sent me that 007 trailer, IO Interactive. First Light. We'll stream that, guys. There's a lot to talk about. VR's popping off, man. VR's popping off. Thank you guys for being in here bright and early. If any of you guys get super bored or just want to like hang out where no one is, you can go find me on Twitch /Mateo311 because we started live streaming on there again. If it wasn't for my most besterous streamy buddy, Kinsey, or Continue, it wasn't for her, we probably would have maxed out at like 5 people on Twitch last week. But thanks to her, we maxed out at like 104. So hugs and kisses to her, even though I know she's not watching. But let's just sound off to everybody here. Couple things, guys. Yo, we're going to talk about a lot of things. There's a lot to get into. So first off, I finally found the damn setting that lowers the latency on YouTube. So I will be on top of the comments a bit more. I couldn't find that setting for the life of me. So, boom, we are there. That setting is up. We should be a lot quicker. Someone say something, and I will respond to it fast. Someone ask a question. Do like @Mateo311, ask a question. We're going to see how fast I am. Like, I'm a ninja speed right now. But thank you, Marco, for popping in. Mark popping. Let's see. Man, they released the tester 4 years ago. See, look how fast I am. See, look at that. Did you fart? See, look. Maybe. Oh, whoever smelt it dealt it, bro. All right, Mark. Black market honey. That's a thing. Black market honey is a big thing from China. Arlen, what's up, brother? Old school. Let's see. Ali. That's a name I haven't seen before. The man, the myth, the legend. Thank you. Kali. What's up? What's going on? Lou. If I pronounce your name wrong, I'm a moron. Excuse me. It's a meme audio. Show us the Deckard. Nope. It's in my closet. Can't see it. Do you have a tail? Wow, it's been like 10 years. Yeah, someone hit me up on Twitch. Yeah, bro, it's been like 10 years. All right, so yeah, everything is all good, man. We are living the dream. If you guys are up, oh, Crow, what's up, man? Crow Nightmare, what's going on? If you guys are up to date on my news, which I'm not expecting you guys to see all the content I put out too much. But if you guys are up to date, you would have noticed at the end of Monday's news video, I said, hey, this week there's going to be some surprises. I can't talk about them. Do you guys know? Where's the tattoo? I'll show you in 2 seconds. It's right out of frame. It is so you could see my shaved arm. It's right out of frame. I'll show you the tattoo in 2 seconds. So yeah, So, oh my God, there's so much to talk about. I see this. Did you get a Switch? Excited for Thief. We're going to get into it all. Okay. There's the tattoo. For those of you who don't know, my dad passed away from cancer. Actually, 6 years ago. The anniversary just passed. I've always wanted to get a tattoo. Oddly enough, or ironically, he hated tattoos. But I got a tattoo in his honor. His name is on there. It's kind of like, it's hard to see. But his name was Ronald. We used to call him Big Ron facetiously, or Notorious RON. But I don't have a lot of real estate on my forearm, so I just went with Ron. So now I said Monday, hey guys, we're gonna have some surprises this week. We're gonna have some surprises, and I can't talk about them. Well, we got the Thief announcement. Oh my God, let me tell you. Russell from Maze Theory, years ago. I mean, I've seen him a couple times now in person, but I met him at PAX East, and they were just demoing before the launch of Peaky Blinders. And I did an interview with him a long time ago. And I said, dude, not for nothing. Like, I'm into the games you're making. I think they're cool. But, like, you're picking these IPs that I don't really relate to. There are a lot of British IPs. There are things I didn't follow. My dog is going ape shit crazy right now. I'm like, when are you going to pick an IP that's more my style? And he's just like, he looks around, makes sure his producer's not around, pulls me to the side, and he's like, let me tell you some stuff. And then he gives me a wink, and I'm like, I got you, bro. So I've been sitting 2 years waiting on this. So Thief VR, boom, he's right. It's more up my alley. I'm not the biggest stealth guy, but I did play the Thief games as a kid, and I really enjoyed them. So pump for that. That should be a solid experience. Maze Theory, solid developers in conjunction with Vertigo Games. Hell yeah. And ESU over on Twitch, yeah. That was a million years ago. Guys, I used to stream like forever ago, like 10 plus years ago on Twitch. Sometimes my wife would come on. We'd play horror games together. And they're commenting on, like, I was playing this game. I forget the name. What is it? I thought it was like Tenertia or something, but whatever. It was driving me nuts. And I used to play games that stressed me out on purpose, so they would get off on me like raging. Anyway, so Thief is one of them. The other game, can you check your PM in Discord? Yeah. I see it. I see the 007 trailer, man. I see it. I'm looking at it. Boom. I'm with you, Marco. So anyway, then the other surprise that I was sitting on, that I've been sitting on forever, was the little update we got this week for Demio, the new version of Demio, or rather Battlemarked, which is the brand. Oh, that's sick, man. You got a 007 tattoo. That's sick. We got the branded we got the branded, I'm pointing at my tattoo like a moron. We got the D&D Demio game, Battlemark. So it is an officially licensed D&D game. You guys know I'm a big D&D fan. I still play tabletop here in my advanced age of mid-40s. So, like, big fan of that. I've been sitting on some information. Now, originally someone slipped to me and said, hey, it's going to be 2026. But it looks like it's swinging in right at the end of 2025 is my expectation now. So the one disappointment, I think, is it still looks like there's not like a character building or a progression system. They haven't mentioned anything, but they showed more of the storyline of how this is going to be a story-driven experience. So it's going to be like Demio with D&D characters, D&D enemies, more D&D based mechanics. It's still the cards and dice, but the dice did look like it had 20 sides. So it's very similar to Demio, but not much more than a reskin Demio, but not a full-on D&D. That's what I'm expecting, but we'll find out more over time. Or I'm just not telling you the whole truth because I'm not allowed to tell you the truth. You'll never know. Let's see. Yeah, man, listen, losing someone is part of life. It kind of, a lot of people are like, oh, my condolences. It is what it is. Like, it's part of life. The only shitty part was my dad was too young. He was 69 when he died. I wanted to say nice there, but I held my tongue. But I still say nice anyway, like an idiot. But he got cancer and it was really quick. Like, at least he didn't like suffer is one of the best things I could think about. And I got much closer to him in the last year and a half. Like he got his diagnosis and it was just a year and a half. Like he went through a course of chemo. He did some radiation. He did all that. And his lungs failed. They put him on immunotherapy. It was a clinical trial and it looks like it made his lungs fail like almost immediately. And that was it. So it sucks. It would be so cool if Resolution Games made an update that players write our own Demio content. Yeah. No, it wasn't pancreatic. It was an extremely rare cancer. Like some of that knee, baby, that knee action. It was an extremely rare cancer. He had a squamous cell carcinoma of the parotid gland. That's the gland that dries out when you smoke weed and your mouth gets dry. That's the gland that makes saliva. Extremely rare. Almost no literature on it. Excessively aggressive, and like diagnosis is best case scenario 5 years after diagnosis, and then less than a year when it spreads, and we found it in his lungs soon after. So there you fucking go, man. Sucks. Horrible disease. Yeah, that's right. 5.56 media. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, please. It's the best thing you could do for me. Huge support. We're all dying sometime. Okay, wiki peoples. Who are you? That, what was it, a mayor, senator, whoever that chick was? I was under the impression you guys knew we'd die. Smacker. Because they were talking about they're going to cut Medicare, and people at the town hall were screaming, people will die. And she's like, everyone's going to die. I feel for people, man. I'm a bleeding heart. Let's see. You saw that, yeah. Still haven't played Demio. Old school, man. We're playing Demio together. Hit me up. I got some free time tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, I'm really trying to blast my way through Zombie Army VR. So I have content up for you guys next week. I am leaving for AWE on Sunday, and I'm going to spend a week. Sounds like we need another Luigi. Man, I was having that conversation with somebody yesterday. And they were like, how you feel about that guy? When I was getting my tattoo in the tattoo parlor. Like, how you feel about that guy, Luigi? I'm like, oof, loaded topic. But he's like, I think he's going to walk, man. I'm like, listen, the only reason he walks is probably because people feel it's justified. Like, there might be some people on that jury who are like, listen, the evidence does look like he did this, but I don't give a shit. You know, like, which is not right. And I'm not condoning his actions, but I get it. Jury nullification. I'm with you. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, hit me up, man. Like I said, I'm gonna be leaving soon. I'm gonna be pretty busy. I'm really hard to nail down, but I'm trying to make myself available like one night a week, like on a Wednesday or a Thursday night, where I could just jump in my server, meet people in game, and play for like 2 hours. D&D Demio sounds awesome. It's gonna be, man. I am so ridiculously pumped. Every game Resolution Games makes is good. There's no way around it. Every game they make, from Sandwich Tale all the way to Home Sports. I've been playing the hell out of Home Sports with my family. Me and we play some pickleball. I played with my niece. She has no VR experience. She's 18 years old. She's like a state champion tennis player. Okay. I might be stretching her abilities. Maybe it's not state champion, but whatever. But she's an extremely good 18-year-old tennis player. And I put her in pickleball. She has no VR experience. That little bitch beat me. I beat her in the first round, and then she beat me in the next two. And I'm like, you little shit. And she kept tipping the net. And I swear to God, she was doing it on purpose. She tipped the net, so I'd have to run in and like catch the ball. And I ain't 18. Screw you. Bridger, what up, brother? Noetic Talent Agency up in the chat. I love your door. Thanks. There's a story for the door. I put my wow, that cheating ass of her. I put my elbow through the door, so I needed to fix the door. And rather than just get a new door and replace it, I killed two birds with one stone. I got a big giant sticker from Etsy, and I fixed the door. So there's still a hole in the door. You just can't see it. It's under the sticker. So let's see. The games from Resolution Games and Mighty Coconut make into VR just for like, you could get into VR for just those games. You're right. I mean, like, listen, Resolution Games hasn't made like those grand scale titles, but they know the market. They know how big to make a game. They know how to make a successful game, and they kill it. Every game they make is fun. Got my home sports, and you know what? It's right here. Let me show it off. This is my home sports sweatshirt, which I'm coming. All right, old man shuffle. It's my home sports sweatshirt, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks great on me. It absolutely looks great on me, and it feels good, and it's a high quality sweatshirt, just like all of their games. But I got to tell you, like, home sports has become our new jam in this house. Is there any game like Defector? That's a good question. Now, Defector was ahead of its time. It was kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none. I definitely liked it. That's Twisted Pixel right there. There's really nothing else quite like that game. I mean, like, the closest sort of thing is like Hitman World of Assassination, but that's a straight up assassination game. It's not the same. But I will say, Twisted Pixel is the studio behind the rumored upcoming Deadpool VR game, and I have had multiple people confirm to me the game is real. The game is real. It's been around and kicking since like 2022, 2023, so that's years of development. Cell shaded, lots of guns, lots of action, you know, cartoony style, like bam effects and stuff like that is what I'm hearing. And apologies if I'm blowing up your spot, Twisted Pixel, but this stuff is out in the open. So like, I wait till other people reveal this stuff and then I talk about it, because I don't want to take away anybody's thunder. What do you think of Pixel Dungeon? I really haven't played Pixel Dungeon, unfortunately. I can't play them all, man. It's not like Pokemon, you know? Even Ash can't catch them all. So how are we living? What else is going on, guys? What are you guys most excited for? So we got the Thief announcement. We got... Oh, let me see. Let me see this 007, because I actually haven't watched the 007 clip. You dropped that in my regular chat, right? Ring. Now, is that VR? Because I should have known if it was VR. Or is it just 007 in general? Yeah, no, this isn't VR, is it? It doesn't look... It looks too... Yeah, it looks way too high budget to be a VR. It looks awesome, though. So, like, you know, like, and Aces of Thunder's finally coming out. We got a lot of good games. You know, we got a lot of good games coming out towards the end of the year. Stress Level Zero is They've said they're working on another game. First, we're going to get Boneworks, official Boneworks port from them. So they had to, like, redo. Yeah, it's not VR, but it does look super cool. I agree with you that 007 does look good. Not my preferred genre. I was never a huge 007 fan, but this clip I'm watching on the side looks awesome. I'm going to assume, what is it, on PlayStation, or probably these days the game's release. I'm trying to find a spot for my arm. It's covered in Aquaphor, so I'm trying to lean it without getting shit everywhere. So these days, most games drop on all flat platforms because that's the only way you make enough money, because the budgets have just ballooned up to insane, 100 million to 300 million numbers. So you got to release on all platforms. So even exclusivity usually is timed. Does Hitman have gun physics like Bone Lab? No, it doesn't have like a physics system like that. Not really. Like, you'll do things like you could swing, but is it full-fledged physics? No, absolutely not. No, that is extremely taxing, and that didn't exist in the game beforehand. So to implement it in is just, nah, it's too much. Let's see. You'll love the montage at the beginning. Thank you, dude. What's up with the... Oh, reminder, guys, chat's going by pretty quick. If you do want me to answer questions, just kind of at Mateo311 me, so it catches my eye. The chat isn't too quick for me to keep up with right now, but I also ramble a lot. So let's see. I'm still new to VR, so I haven't played a lot of old games. Are the Insomniac games worth it? Yes. I mean, I think they are personally worth it. A lot of people love Stormland. Stormland didn't fully land for me. it didn't fully land for me. Like the combat felt a little like grindy and repetitive, but the storyline aspects, the graphics, there's a lot to enjoy about it. Some of the other older games, Edge of Nowhere and stuff like that, I never got around to. The very early Oculus only games, or rather Rift titles, I didn't play a ton of them because, you know, first you needed, because I was on HTC Vive and then Revive, and then they tried blocking Revive, and also like, you know, it was the early days of VR. I wasn't doing this yet. I had limited free time, and I was only picking the titles I really wanted to. Like one of my favorite is Robo Recall. Robo Recall was fucking incredible. I love that game. Is Gunman coming out for standalone? It should be. Yes. Let's see. Did they update the PCVR Hitman with the PSVR 2 version? No, they have not. But the developer said never say never. So usually when they say never, that usually comes down to how well does our PlayStation VR 2 game perform? Do we have other projects slated? Do we think it's profitable? And how, like, it's going to be time, money, evaluation. They're going to go, okay, it's going to take us probably 6 months to port. How much money do we expect to make? Is it worth it? Should we just move on to our next project? So that's usually what happens. So they said never say never. So maybe. All right, let's see. Did you see the tech demo for Witcher 4? Absolutely. When I was watching it while I was getting my tattoo. I was watching my friend Luana's stream. Luana is amazing. She did like one VR stream because I met her at the meta event for Civ 7. Now I knew of her before then. I used to watch her because she got really big around Baldur's Gate 3. She's awesome on so many levels. You know, just so many levels. Just a ball of energy. Just a sweet, sweet girl. But she's really cool. And she was in the same hotel as me. And I said, oh shit, she's going to the same event as me. So I walked up to her and I said, I know you. You're Luana. And she's immediately just like a sweetheart. And we've been friends ever since. And I talk to her constantly. But when she got back, she did a stream of Civ 7. And then she streamed Skyrim because she's a big RPG player, which was fun. But she's like, yeah, it's too, it's like a little janky. It's hard to respond to my chat. And I need motion smoothing. And I'm like, I know. That's why I don't stream VR games. They make me nauseous. I can't watch people play VR games. It makes me nauseous. Okay. Let's see. I never want to hear the phrase roguelike wave shooter again. I get you on that one, man. What do you think about Of Lies and Rain? I will tell you that game sailed right over my head. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't try it. I know nothing about it. It's one of those titles where I'm like, as a content creator, I'm slightly embarrassed. I see other people. I'm like, what the hell is this game? I'm like, where did this come from? How did I miss this? So I got to look into it more. But I'm one of those people not ashamed to talk when I don't know shit. You know? You got to admit you don't know something and you go out and find out about it and learn. There was a spy shooter for VR except Defector. Is that a question? A statement? There is a spy shooter. That's a statement. Was it is there? Little dyslexia. Let's see. I'd look for the next Steam sale. Stormland, you won't get on a Steam sale, brother. Stormland is only a Rift game. So unfortunately, you won't get it on a Steam sale. Let's see. Oh, cool. Okay, old school. I got you, brother. I got you. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you guys want to play a game with me, you really need to track me down. Lately, my life has been crazy. If you're up to date on my channel, last week or so, however long ago, I posted a very, emotional video about some struggles I was dealing with. Yeah, actually, that was last Friday. I posted that. Holy shit, was that last Friday? Because I feel like I was talking about it right at my live stream that I was going to post. I was thinking about posting something. I think that was a week ago. I will say, a week has gone by. I'm feeling and doing much better. If you guys are up to date on what I'm talking about. If you're not up to date, just know I had some personal struggles. We all struggle. The community came out and was amazing to me, and I absolutely fucking love you guys. Like, I'd make out with each and every one of you as long as you're female and hot. And I'm not married, but I am married. So I'm not making out with any of you people. Let's see. Never heard of Defector. Defector was another one of those only on Oculus titles, but a solid game. Twisted Pixel, very solid. Let's see. Do you think we will get a Pokemon AR VR game? There's a chance, but I don't know of anything official. So what the company that did Pokemon Go, what is it? Niantic or something? Usually I'm pretty decent with studio names. They're involved, and they just made that little demo. They did Hello Dot on the Quest 3. So like, they're interested in the technology. I think when we get more mainstream stuff, like more AR glasses and stuff, the more mainstream, we could see something, but this is speculation. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it, man. You know, there's I had to do it for myself. I had to talk about that for myself, and even if I wasn't going to post that video, I just need to hear the words out loud for myself. Yeah, Nintendo isn't going to let their cash cow go. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I don't think Nintendo has a VR headset. I feel like everything Pokemon has to be on a Nintendo console. You do come across some weird, licensing stuff. Like, you know, like Sony had the rights to Spider-Man movies for an extended period of time, and then Marvel had to cut a deal with them, or rather Disney had to cut a deal with them, and to get Spider-Man in, but they're still trying to make other Spider-Man movies. They tried to do like 17 terrible spin-offs. Everyone, holy crap, they were all bad. Madam Web. What was the other one? What the fuck's his name? Kraven the Hunter. That was horrible. I'm sure they got some other horrible ones in there that just shouldn't be named. There is a Pokemon there was like a Pokemon Snap ripoff out there. I don't want to call it a ripoff. It's a good game. It's a good game. You know, like, you got to take inspiration from somewhere. Hey, watch the Witcher 4 demo. VR has a hard time competing with those graphics. You're right. If VR could run Lumen and Nanite graphics, well, but the problem is, to run Lumen and Nanite, you now need at least $1,000 PC plus the price of a headset. You start your entry point at $1,500. We're back to VR games of 2017, where there's not an audience for them, and when there's no audience for them, you can't throw money into them because you're not going to make a return, and that's why games like Batman VR on PlayStation 1 and Wolfenstein Cyberpilot were 30-minute experiences. Because the money people go, hey, your budget's gone. We estimate you're going to sell 100,000 copies if you're lucky. And that's it. We want to make profit. Let's see. But one thing that flat screen can't do is the immersion level. And another thing is, like, some people look at VR games and be like, the graphics suck. They suck when you look at them on flat screen. When you look at them in VR with the added depth, as long as the resolution's there and there's not issues like excessive jaggies like you tend to get on the Quest when you're running low resolution, or you don't have the processing power to do things like anti-aliasing, that's when it kind of breaks the immersion. But like, fuck, I can't mention the game I wanted to mention because it's not out yet. But like, modern games, if you go to any modern game on PlayStation VR 2 or pcvr, they look great. The Midnight Walk could have looked a little bit better. The one I wanted to mention looks great. Like, I got in, looks great. So the potential's there, but it's still pretty much on pcvr. Most people have a Quest because most people can only afford a Quest, and then you go a few steps back. So DLSS on Quest 3 looks amazing. There's this weird mindset of people on the internet. Like, no way, DLSS looks fake. I see the artifacts. I don't want DLSS. And people are like, I don't want fake frames. There's a trade-off. My issue with reprojection is it tends to cause collision detection issues. So like in Batman, and they even talked about this, I did an interview with Camouflage. Took me a second there. So I did an interview and I was talking to Ryan about it, and they were just like, we experimented with reprojection so we could get the graphics even better in Batman, but then we started getting collision detection issues, and it doesn't feel as smooth. So obviously that's way worse. Gameplay's got to come first over graphics. So if you could get smooth fake frames, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Anything that's not, distracting, doesn't take away from the gameplay mechanics and ups the graphics, I'm all for. So I'm cool with deep learning super sampling, a super resolution, reprojection, as long as the pros are much better than the cons. You're always going to have cons, especially when dealing with standalone devices. I personally have not played Questcraft. Half-Life Rat. OnlyFans, yes I know. We talking about my OnlyFans channel again, guys? Listen, let's keep that talk a little bit. Yeah, I will say, after they fixed my bug with the Midnight Walk, jumping into it on pcvr, yeah, it is crisp. It is beautiful. Yeah, let's keep my OnlyFans site talk to a minimum because, we don't want this chat to be way too steamy. I mean, you guys are going to be sweating from that content. For those of you confused now, the OnlyFans is a running joke. That is not real, okay? My clothes stays on for everyone except my wife. And that channel, Thirst Trap 311. Simon's OnlyFan. I mean, that is great. No, keep the name. I like it. I was trying to talk Tech Man. I don't know if you guys know Tech Man, but I was joking with him on Twitter or X. I was joking with him on Twitter and X the other day, and I was like, yeah, man, where do you think I get all my money from? OnlyFans. He's like, I don't know if you're joking or not. I'm like, dude, you're in better shape than me. You're a younger man. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm killing it on OnlyFans. You'll do well. He's like, I'm making an OnlyFans. I think he took me serious, which is great. So now I get to bust his balls when I see him next week. Simon, I understood the joke was not about OnlyFans. I kind of got it. It was kind of like, I only have one fan, or I'm Simon's only fan. I got it. But I made all my money only selling fans. What about the making out stuff earlier? I told you guys I would make out with you if you are attractive women and I'm not married. That's just my type. So I'm never making out with anybody. I got the pro package. Is there a place to see new upcoming early access games? I mean, you could kind of browse SideQuest, but anything that is going to be a big title, no. You're going to have to wait till official announcements. Have you tried Clamb? Whatever. Yes and no. Like, I've jumped into it for 5 seconds. I literally went and got a... Marco, I answered your question about spy shooters. Not really. Like, you got Hitman and you have Aspire 1 and Aspire 2. They are stealth-based, not spy themed, but they're stealth-based shooters. They kind of went with the, hey, we're Metal Gear Solid in VR, but they kind of never really delivered. The second game is co-op. The second game is better. You get 2 different frames because you're controlling a robot body. And one is like tanky and goes, toe to toe. So if you want to dive in, and the other one's the stealth guy. And it's a cool combo. But about Clamb, I got my. That's why I had. If you guys were here like a while ago, I had my big giant. I'm pretty sure I'm talking about the right game. I had my sledgehammer out, and I was gonna try and film something with the sledgehammer, but that didn't work out. You need a good seafood chowder. Sure. It's okay, Margo. It's all good, brother. It's all good. It's all good. So what else? So out of the games that were recently announced or we recently got updates on, what are you guys most excited for? Is it Thief? Is it the Battlemarked, which is Demio D&D? Or is it just something else? Are you guys excited for Zombie Army VR or even World War Z? World War Z came out of nowhere, And I'm actually kind of excited for that game. I'll tell you why, because I like the flat screen game. The only problem is it looks like it's not going to be a very big package. It looks like it's going to be like a small set of levels, maybe really cool, really well done, like tons of zombies and stuff, but it's also single player. The console version was kind of like a new age Left 4 Dead. You have a class system, you unlock new weapons, your character gets stronger and stronger, and you have different abilities. So that was pretty badass, and I enjoyed it, and I dumped like a ton of hours into that game. I was hoping when World War Z got announced on, for VR, would get something similar, but looks like it's a much more scaled down. Deus Ex VR would be sick. Aces of Thunder, I gotta say, not for nothing, that looks like it's gonna be really solid. I'm not a big sim fan, even though I think it slides a little bit more into arcadiness. And if anything is gonna make me nauseous in VR, which pretty much never does these days, but if anything's gonna make me nauseous, it's a seated experience where the world moves. But I think ultimately, I'm gonna like it. Deadpool, hell yeah! See, guys, VR is looking up, man. VR is freaking looking up. I'm hoping we get that Deadpool announcement soon, because then we can all rejoice. Deadpool. What? I mean, I think people have been yelling at Camouflage to do a Wolverine or Spider-Man game, which would also be sick. Can you imagine? Spider-Man, I think, can totally be pulled off, because at first, like, people are like, we're going to get super nauseous. But we had those, like, small Spider-Man demos back in the day, and also Swarm. Swarm nailed it. I don't know how they did it. I actually worked with the team for the promotion on Swarm 1 and 2, and I don't know how they did it. That game felt so good. So that can be badass. Memoriam is another solid game that I am excited for. I played that back at Gamescom. It's very much Dead Space. Very much like they designed it, to have a Dead Space feel, that same type of pacing. They said, like, I was a madman when I was playing. They're like, dude, you were just going at it. And, like, I was, like, like acting. But I was just getting into it. Because, like, when I find a game that I will be immersed in, I'll just be like, that's it. That's how I'm going to play it. But if I'm bored playing a game, you'll see it in my body. Like, I'll be like, oh, die. I'm excited for co-location WebXR. So there's actually some stuff that I'm really excited for at AWE. I'm getting all the press releases for AWE now. Now, AWE, they are showing off some games there, but nothing that I looked into looked immediately exciting. I'm sure that'll change when I get there. But there was some technology that did look extremely exciting. And we're not just talking about, like, more headsets and, like, AR glasses and stuff, which I'm really excited for. I love my X-Real glasses. Obviously, an upgrade. I could really use a pcvr headset upgrade. I retired my Index. And so, like, I am looking for those, but there's more unique things that I'm interested in. They could drill the hole in my head for the BCI, stuff like that. Let's see. Is there any boomer shooters like Doom in VR? Yes. There's Shock Troops, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Go check out Shock Troops. It's in my list of top 100 games. I really, really liked it. It had a Duke Nukem Quake style feel to it, and it's unique. Like, each level plays a little bit different, so I definitely enjoyed it. Shock Troops is a solid one. You can play the original Doom and Duke Nukem with mods. And also Doom 3 is playable with mods, but that's not really boomer shooter. There's some games that have the boomer shooter aesthetic, but it's a roguelike, and that's Compound. That's the top of my head. The top of my head. Do you think with current technology that Nintendo could get a massive jump in user adoption if they had first-party games and a headset? I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly don't think Microsoft or Nintendo will put any effort into VR until that technology is much more mainstream. Like, Microsoft got in because they didn't want to be, like, left behind. So they got in early with mixed reality, but never really pushed it. Is Stormland still worth $40? I would wait for a sale. 40 is a bit much. A medieval, yeah, that's another boomer shooter. Yep, there you go, definitely. That's a nice, fast-paced one. I really enjoyed that. Some people were talking shit about it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Half-Life 2, I wouldn't say counts as a boomer shooter. Boomer shooters tend to have the sprite aesthetic, and if you guys don't know what sprites are, back when Duke Nukem 3D came out, yes, it's a 3D world, because the original Duke Nukem games were actually side-scrollers. When Duke Nukem 3 came out, you have a 3D engine, so you're inside like a traditional first-person shooter. But you didn't utilize 3D models in Duke Nukem. You had a series of flat images. My camera, it thinks I'm asking it to track me. Okay, so you had a series of flat images, and what ends up happening is if you're looking at it forward, you get one image. You get a left, right, forward, and behind, and top image. You could never see it from a different angle besides those 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Those are the only 5 angles you can ever see an enemy from. So the enemies are flat. And you could actually see that sometimes when they turn, like for half a second, they're like, there's an edge. So that is an aesthetic that becomes very common in boomer shooters. Let's go, Virtual Boy. So Doom VFR was actually good, but broken when it released, and it still had weird issues after all the updates. Like, luckily they eventually introduced free locomotion, but it was still like there was a weird type of acceleration. And I swear I still see that acceleration in the modern Doom Dark Ages. Like, when you let go or forward, you still go like a few inches forward. You kind of like slide a little bit, which is fine in a flat screen game, but in VR, it feels quite awkward. Doubt we will see a PlayStation VR 3. I agree with you. It's very unlikely. Yeah, it's unlikely we'll see a PlayStation VR 3 unless the market completely shifts and all of a sudden like people are creaming themselves over VR again. Sorry to use such a graphic term, but yeah, it's unlikely to happen. So Serious Sam VR is awesome. Serious Sam VR was ahead of its time, and actually was like that engine worked so good in VR. It was the first time you could jump into a full-fledged game. The graphics were great. The intensity level was like a 12 out of 10. I highly recommend you go back and try the Serious Sam games. Not like the small VR specific games they made. The, whatever it was, Serious Sam 3, I believe it was, in VR, playable in VR. That was awesome. Yes, the classic Doom is playable thanks to the mods. And yes. So Mark Poppin, let me ask you a question. The little icon that comes up when you're talking, is that because you're a member? Because I am clueless. And if that is because you're a member, I got to make some cooler icons. Oh, and for those of you curious about the Serious Sam game, that was a comment that came on Twitch. Because I have all of 3 comments on Twitch, which is not making me sad at all. It's totally worked going back to streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. If you guys saw me squirm there for a second, I have a jacked up elbow. I've actually, from when I broke these doors, like 6 years ago, I put my elbow through the door and I have a bone spur now. And sometimes when I put pressure on it, it pinches the nerve and it hurts like absolute hell. So if you see me do this and go like this, that's what happens. Quest Z Zoom, all that's good, but I recommend Shock Troops. Go check it out. Highly recommend it. You gain XP? All right, dude. I don't know. I'm clueless. Like, I should know. This is my channel and it's streaming, and I don't know what those damn icons are, but get your XP, brother. You're leveling up. Are you more interested in the future of full dive or as close as we can get anytime soon, or XR technology boom on the horizon? So that's a good question, man. I think the bigger impact is definitely going to come from XR technology. There is a like even as popular as gaming has become, when I grew up, gaming was fringe. I don't want to say fringe, but like, you know, maybe like 3 of my friends, we'd go home and game all night. And then like my generation became quite popular, like to game. It wasn't taboo. You weren't a loser if you went home and gamed. And then the next generation, it's just common. So like I was, you know, on the edge of that. Like I was the only one I knew who PC gamed, but I was always showing my friends games. And then eventually everyone got a Nintendo or an Xbox or whatever. And it grew, you know, like some of those devices will sell like the Nintendo, what was it? The Wii sold like 150 million. So gaming has become quite commonplace, but there's still a large portion of people who don't use it. On the other hand, though, computing from a phone, including mobile gaming, is just common. Like, you know, we're debating getting like some sort of mocked down, modified phone for my kid to carry because she goes to middle school next year. So just like something that she can only text us and has very limited access. But like this generation right now, like the kids who are in their 20s, they can't survive without a phone. Like if you shut off their phone, they'd probably starve to death and not be able to get home. Like if 3 miles from their house. Like that, I'm obviously exaggerating, but that's like how bad it's become. Like, so I think when we get into XR technology and moving the interface from thumbs, like head down, broken neck thumbs, to, you know, AI on your face, talk to your interface, you know, gaze control, stuff like that. I think that's going to have a much more significant impact overall and, you know, make the technology mainstream. However, at the same time, as the technology gets better, it's only going to help every other aspect. Sega. That sound is permanently embedded in my head, by the way. So let's see. Nope, I answered that question. So let's see. So I know your pain with the elbow. Yeah, man, let me tell you, dude. Oof. The bone spur there, it hurts. Phones are integrated in technology now. Like, it's so funny when you hear some kids like, how'd you get around before Google Maps? And we're like, we used maps. And it's like, no. Before Google Maps. I'm like, no, we used a map. And they're like, without a map. I'm like, no, dude, I'm talking about a piece of actual physical paper. Like when I was working and I was doing on-site PC support between like, I don't know, between the age of like 18 and 25, that's what I was doing. I actually, 18, 20, yeah, around that age. I would go home and go to MapQuest and say, okay, I'm going from this location to this location. And I'd print out instructions. And I'd be in my car like this, all right, turn left. You screwed up. Good luck. That's where I grew up in. And some of those trips were far, like different states. Oh, man. Yeah, the internet. So, like, that's one thing I'm happy about. Like, I know how to survive. And also working in tech for so long, you find ways to solve problems. Like, so, I mean, one, my house is kind of like protected against loss of power and stuff. I have UPS systems and all that stuff. So, if the power goes out, I still have internet access for about 30 hours. This house keeps internet access going for about 30 hours. And that's just a simple UPS and proper wiring and stuff like that. And it's just good. And then I could also charge. So if I'm charging phones, I could charge cell phones, have a few like, you know, USB flashlights or rechargeable flashlights. And so like, I'm okay if the power goes out. Like it won't be that hard on me. But if it goes out for a few days, yeah, this country's going back to caveman style. It's so funny. Yes, kids didn't know the save icon was a floppy disk. That is great. But that's everything else. Sometimes I hear, like, I heard someone say, oh, this lady's taking forever to get here. What is she coming by Pony Express? Which is a term I have not heard in a long time, but that just means slowly. But like, you know, there's so many phrases. Like when I was in Amsterdam, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to call an Uber. They're like, why are you calling it? I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm gonna call an Uber and we'll get an Uber. And they're like, yeah, but why are you calling? I'm like, okay, I'm using my app to hail an Uber, to order an Uber. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you literal shits. I'm like, just because, you know, I used to say I'm going to call a taxi. And I'm calling out Mystical VR. That was a little shit in Amsterdam. That little 20-year-old bastard. He's a great kid. And he's like 23. He's a great kid. But me and my wife were joking the entire trip. We called him and his girlfriend our kids because they were young enough to be our kids. So when we lost track of them, I'd be like, "Hey babe, do you know where our kids are?" So that was Mystical and his girlfriend Emma. They were cool. They went to the XR, the AI XR Awards with me. Let's see. Just bought Batman Arkham Shadow. So Arkham Shadow was awesome. Behemoth, I'm not the biggest fan, and I spent a lot of time talking to Danny from Skydance at PAX East. So he works at Skydance. He's one of the developers. And I was talking about him. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't the biggest fan of Behemoth because I didn't like some of your mechanics. There were some moments where that game shines so much, and there were some moments where I found it like frustrating and annoying. And I know the game is actually partially scaled down to support the Quest. So like they made the Quest version, and that's pretty much the version everyone gets, just better graphics on PlayStation and pcvr. So you get the Quest version with better graphics, which, listen, it's mandatory if you want to make money these days, even though that game really didn't do well. But I couldn't get past some of the grappling hook mechanics. And I got annoyed because I felt empowered in that game. Like, you feel strong, and I'm really stuck on that big, like, like I like feeling empowered. And in the beginning, they used to have like excessive fall damage. And I can't tell you the first time I went up against one of the behemoths, I kept not even thinking about it, killing myself with fall damage because I was trying to grappling hook to the top of them at breakneck speed. And every time I missed, I'd fall and die. And I'm just like, I don't think I like this. And he's like, yeah, we got rid of fall damage. And I just like, like they had to make a lot of switches. So it's probably better now. But when I played through it, I was like, oh, this is great. This game's annoying. Oh, this is great. This game's annoying. So I like teetered back and forth. Do you follow Star Citizen? A little bit, man. Their promise of VR compatibility goes back, what? 17 bajillion years when VR was announced. Isn't that game up to like 700 million? Now, people will say, oh, it's a scam. The game's not done yet and they spent 700 million. It's a game. It's playable. It's got a lot of crazy shit in it, but it is completely mismanaged. It's like, it's become like a tech scam at this point. Like, just get the money coming in as fast as possible. Promise people crazy shit. Do a couple crazy things, but, don't deliver on most. 11 years of early access. Yep. I will say, Mark, that was an interesting, concept that they did with the months leading up to Behemoth. Every few months they introduced a new Behemoth, and you did see them all before the game launched. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I wasn't 100% great with that either, but I will say that seeing the Behemoths in game and compared to seeing them on flat screen is night and day. It doesn't count. And HKZ, greeting. What's up? What's going on? Guys, have I mentioned how much I freaking enjoy just streaming with you guys and talking to you guys? Not to get all emotional and whatever. I'm coming over here. My attention's going to be split for a second. But yeah, no, honestly, guys, these streams, in my day-to-day life, I don't have a ton of human interaction, which sucks. I sit behind a desk. I play some VR games. A lot of times they're single-player games. And I'm a social person. I have 2 young kids. I don't go out much these days. My wife works, I think she works 39 hours a day. Definitely no exaggeration there. Pretty sure she works 39 hours a day. And then, so I'm alone or I'm with, my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old daughter. So I don't get a lot. And even though this isn't face-to-face communication, this does like help fulfill me. So I just want to say thank you guys. Oh yeah, the cam moves by itself. Check this out. And there's other cams up in this room. Like this is my table cam. This is where I play D&D. This is I moved the camera by accident a little bit, but this is where I play D&D. The white screen is where the projector shines down. You can't see my mouse touching the screen though. Projector shines down onto that white box, and that would be our game board. And there's a rust monster there and some random shit on the desk right now. All my figures are on the wall, and that's also my arcade right there. We got Gwen Stacy holding my God of War PlayStation controller, my Roto VR, but this arcade, I just formatted the system and did some upgrades to it, but it's not ready to go. So it's in the back burner. Like, I like projects, but here I am. I'm back. Yeah, it's a tracking camera. It's not. It also does this. Whoa, extreme close up. It's nice. It's very helpful. Arlen, you out, man? All right. See you, brother. It's nice talking to you. Hey, we got to jump in game. It's been a while. I am the player, Simon. So I would love to DM, but I don't really have a lot of free time. I will say I'm put up. You know what? Let's go walk over there. Let's go walk over there. And then later, guys, I'll give you my link if you guys have. I'm sure you guys have seen it. You're regulars, but I'm going to give you guys my affiliate link of all like the games I recommend. Like, you guys are asking me about games. You guys are like, hey, should I try this? Should I try that? I have my link of like my top 20 games plus some hidden gems, stuff like that. All right, well, I'm just micing up. Dun, dun. We'll probably get an echo for a second. All right, so let's cut this mic. Didn't connect yet. Turn on. Okay, now we probably have an echo. Do we have an echo? Hey, all right, come with me. Come with me, and you'll see. We're going to the table cam. All right, guys, let's go. All right, you can still hear me, and I am over. Hi. I don't know how well you see me. And let me turn on some lights. Alexa, turn on the table lights. Or don't do it. Don't do it. Make me look like an idiot, Alexa. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. She's not sure how to help me. So here we are, guys. I think we're somewhere down here. I can't see myself. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is where I play. So I set this up. Normally, there's a screen, there's a monitor here, but it doesn't stay there. It goes to the side. I usually do it portrait style. And, the DM has all his controls for the projector, which is up here. I'll show you guys. Projector, which is up there. I don't know if you see it. Projector. And then, come back down with me, camera. So, and we'll also use this. Like, if I have anyone playing with us remotely, right where the camera is, there's a TV. And basically, I will have, I'll show you guys that in a second from a different angle. So basically, we'll have like someone log in there. So if we want someone to play with us remotely, the camera helps them see, but then they'll log into like Roll20 so they can see the actual game board. We could see their face. We could all role play together. And this is it. All my figures are pretty much here. DM sits over there, has control of everything. It's a pretty solid setup. But I'm also messy right here because I'm working on this arcade system that it was a project I always wanted to do. And come with me. Come with me to another camera. Come with me. You can't see me yet, but you will see me soon, I promise. Okay. This is that one. It's my home sports on the floor. Hi. Now this one also follows me too. We tracking? No, I got to hold it longer. There we go. Now we tracking. Yes. Okay, so this is the rest of the room. This is where I play. This is my VR space, which, surprisingly, isn't big enough at times, believe it or not. You can see most of my other stuff here. The random stuff that I, collect from all the stuff people that send me, like my Flat the VR pillow. And this is my helmet that I got from Civ 7. All right. That's my old cyber shoes chair. They're out of business. And now we're going to come all the way back around to here. I'm going to throw this. Almost did it. Here's the TV I was talking about, guys. So there's the TV screen. And everything's everything's connected in this room pretty much. This is me. I get bored, and when I get bored, I do hobbies. Like, I can't stop moving sometimes. I got to, like, fill my life up with stuff. All right, let's switch back to the main mic. All right, echo. Echo until this turns off. It's off. Hi, I'm back. How was that, guys? Did that work okay? Did that work okay? I apologize I couldn't see the chat during all that, but did we get a nice little tour? Did that go okay? Hi from Germany. Hey, man. Sorry, I'm just catching up. A guy with his toys. That's right, man. So, yeah. All right, I'm just catching up on the chat. You should 100% stream a one-shot. The problem is I don't think anyone will give a shit. Like, I don't think anyone will care. Like, D&D session in Long Beach. Bridger, let's do it, brother. Let's do it. I'm not DMing. I'll bring dice. I got dice for days. All we need dice and imagination. Genghis is in charge. Genghis is our DM. Maybe, you know what? I could do a one shot. I could definitely do a one shot, Bridger, if you really want. We could do. Oh, I got a good one up here. But character building would probably take a little while because I don't think most of the team is fluent in Dungeons and Dragons. You know, a few people would care, but no. So speaking of Critical Role, guys, I went to see the coolest, geekiest thing ever. When I went to the Civ 7 event in New York City, I said, well, I'm going to New York City. Well, prior to that, let's back up a step. I saw Devora on TikTok. Now, Devora is the voice of Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate 3. I've been following her for a while. She's pretty funny. Her content's cool. And I saw she just like posted a video, said, hey, jet lagged, but just made it to New York City. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to New York City tomorrow. Why is she there? What is she doing? I'm going to go see her. So basically I found out she's going to be at the D20 Tavern, I think it was called. I believe it's the D20 Tavern, which is an improv D&D play. I call my one buddy that I used to play D&D with that I grew up with because I grew up in New York City. And I go, hey, man, you want to go to something super geeky? And he's like, I got work, but I'll get off. So he met me. We went to this play. I absolutely laughed my ass off. Then we went to the D&D. Then we went to the Civ 7 event. And on the way there, there's someone there. I told you that's when I met Luana. There's this tall black lady there. And I'm just like, I recognize her. And I tap her on the shoulder. I'm like, hi, I'm sorry. I'm like, I recognize you, but I can't say from, like, I can't really figure out from where. And she's like, oh, yeah, no, I work with Critical Role. I'm one of their new DMs. It's Abria, if you guys follow, and if you're critters and you follow any of that stuff. And I'm like, oh, shit. Yes, I do know who you are. So I was talking to her for later we went to dinner and I was talking to her for a while. She did bail on me. She's like, Mateo, let me get your number. Let me text you. I'm going out to a bar. I'm going out with Devora and, a bunch of those other D&D people. I'll text you where we are and you can come meet up with us. She texted me, but then never told me where she was and never replied again. So it's cool. I expected her to flake on me. She probably didn't want some fanboy coming to, drool over Devora and all that stuff too. But it was a really cool experience. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I actually have a picture with her. Let me see. I think the last person I sent the picture to was Genghis VR. So let me scroll up in the Genghis chat and see if I can find it. Genghis VR, and we scrolling. And then if I find it, I will show the chat. And I'll show you a little clip too. Let's see. We scrolling. When did Civ 7 come out? Do you guys remember? I'm almost there. I think there's Devora. Yeah. Devora's pretty, man. All right, so let me switch to my screen so you guys can see. I'm just moving some stuff over here. Let me try not to show too much chat between me and Genghis because I say wacky shit to Genghis. Let's see. All right. This is... She was fighting with me, telling me I didn't... Okay. So let me get to my... Boom. That's my game screen. So obviously that's Abria in the middle there. So that was a picture of her. This is Devora, who I was talking about. So I saw her. And oh, I got a clip right here. Let's do that. And let's hit play. All right. So this was the play I was telling you guys about. Please hold. Your call is important to us. All right, there we go. So this is the play I was at. I mean, obviously nothing really exciting going on here, but they just embarrassed her. She said dangly bits at one point, and the DM was just like, dangly bits, huh? And he made her do a speech about dangly bits. So it sounds geeky and ridiculous, but it was really fun. Did I show the picture of me with Abria? I think I just glazed over that. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. There we are together. She is about 7 feet taller than me. It's not an exaggeration. She's a good 7 feet taller than me. Maybe 8. Because I short, she tall. I said, thank you very much for kneeling down. Thank you very much for kneeling down. And she said, nah, I've been a tall chick my whole life. I know the drill. I think she said she's like 6'1", 6'2" or something, and I am not. All right, let's see. Catching back up on chat after that giant rant. Bridger, Sunday night we play. I'm down. I bet your wife looks better. My wife is a hottie. I mean, listen, we're getting up there in age. We're in our 40s, but my wife's a hottie. I'm not denying it. She's a hottie for sure. She's very mom. She's getting very mom-like though, which is like adorable. Like she tries to dance and stuff, and it's like, ugh, you're such a mom. Mom, you're embarrassing. But no, she's a hottie for sure. When does like just totally like Maine's like shut up about this nonsense you're going on about? Get back to VR. When does Remnant Protocol release? I don't know, dude. I'm not up to date on that one. Sorry. Apologies. Bridger, have your character sheet ready and we can play. Make a level 6 character. And we'll get everyone to make a level 6 character. And I have a cool one shot that we can do. I have a mate who is 7'2". That mother effer must have like Marfan syndrome or something. A giantism. He's 7'2" is not natural. The average worldwide height, now listen, this is taking all countries into account. There are tiny Asians out there. There are like massive German people out there. And I'm not singling out any nationalities. There's 2 that came to my head of short and taller people. There's tons of tall UK people, whatever the case. Australians, there's a bunch of tall Australians. Regardless, the national male height average is 5'7", which is like right where I am if I'm on my tippy toes. But 5'7" is not tall, obviously. Most people would expect like something like 5'10", like 5'8" to 6'2" is where everyone else kind of slides into. But when you adjust for those people, the men who are like out there that are 5'2", and the men that are out there that are like 8 feet tall, the numbers get skewed. All right, yeah, get me back on point, guys. Listen, like anything else, I'm Italian. We're not known for being tall, but there's some 6 feet tall Italian guys out there. It happens. All right, so let's get back on point here. How do you feel about neural computing interface technology? If we're talking about Elon's bullshit, I feel horrible about it. He's out there killing animals, and he was under investigation until this current administration, and then they kind of like, we're like, whatever, you do what you want, man, you get a pass. But yeah, Neuralink, no. Am I interested in what Valve's doing? Absolutely. Do I think there's massive potential for BCIs in the future? Yes. Do I think there's the potential for the most insane abuse in that technology? Absolutely. Like immediately I go to that episode of Black Mirror with the Marines, and they have the Marines hunting down the roaches, I believe they call them. And basically, they're just modifying what the Marines see, hear, smell, so they can control them. It's at like the potential there just freaks me out. Is it you want me off point again? Sure. Yes, I'm definitely excited for a Thief. I'm an old school guy too. Is it genetics, diet, or both? It is primarily genetics. So you have a genetic predisposition, which is what you're most likely inclined to be. Now, if you get like something like malnourishment happens, which is environmental, or you like have poisoning, or, you know, radiation poisoning, something that damages your pituitary, stuff like that, you don't hit your expected potential. So it's much more genetic than environmental. But things like muscle mass are much more, I mean, obviously there's a huge genetic component there for the biggest you can get, but just think about, like, you know, if you overfeed yourself, you could be 300 freaking pounds. That's all environment. All right. Heading out. Well, it was nice. Thank you for chilling. 4'9" is pretty tiny, man. 4'9" is small. Like, sadly, my daughter is pretty short. She's below average, and I'm just hoping I'm hoping she hits 5'1", but we're having her checked to make sure like there's nothing wrong with her. Her growth rate on her bones are younger than she is, so she still has a lot more time to grow. So she might grow until like she's 15, even 16. So it looks like she's going to grow later in life than women typically do. However, right now they're like, yeah, she's ranging from 5'3" all the way down to 4'9". That's the range they're giving us now. I want her to break 5 just so she's not, because right now she doesn't like being so small. But you know, not to get too personal, she would be upset if I was telling you guys this. There you go. You know, a lot of the Asians are smaller. One of my kids' friends' mom, she's 4'9", and 4'9" is small, and she's Chinese. Yeah, it's just, you know, there's genetic component to it for sure. Hereditary, all that. You throw a couple giants in that family, and then they'll be taller. That's all. Like one of my cousins, he's part Vietnamese, but he's also tall. Bridger, I saw your comment on there. I cannot imagine Otter playing D&D with us. She doesn't talk, but that'll be great. So I'm just gonna grab something real fast, guys. I'm gonna look at this. Yeah, I'm looking up your account. Wait, I don't see anything here. No. What's your name again? All right, it's me being crazy. Keeps me sane. Being crazy keeps me sane. That makes plenty of sense. I wanted to get you guys the link I was talking about earlier before I forget. If you guys are regular here, I drop this all the time. I drop this every single time. This is my list of affiliate stuff. Nothing really too new on it right now. But a lot of people were asking about games and stuff and sales and rebates and all that yada yada. So this is like some of the most popular games that Meta sells. So if they're popular, they're probably pretty good. My personal recommendations, like hidden gems like Dragon Fist, The Living Remain, Ghost Signal I loved, Into Black, Metal Hellslinger, Budget Cuts. That's an older one, but it's still great. Vendetta Forever, Action Hero. Those are just, you know, some of my hidden gems, my personal hidden gems. Then I have like games that I think have a little bit more mainstream appeal. So like Ghost Town, Wanderer. Wanderer, it's getting there. Maybe hold off on Wanderer, at least if you're going for the Quest version. Iron Rebellion's great. Waiting for their single player though. Metro, some people talk shit about Metro, but I personally loved Metro. Dungeons of Eternity, Resident Evil 4, Moss games are great. Asgard's Wrath, yada yada. Underdog. There's lots of games. Yeah. Something wrong with the link? Click the link. Yeah, man. I must have chopped off the end. Here, let's see. That one works. Does that one work now? I must have failed at my ability to copy and paste. Let's go. Let's see. Is it working? I'm waiting on you guys. TikTok. Yeah, it works. All right, cool. So for everybody else, what do you guys think of my new tattoo? What do you think? It's for my dad who passed away from cancer. What do you think? Someone said something really weird online. They said I love the sentiment, you know, that you got a tattoo in honor of your dad that passed away from cancer, but I have some questions for the tattoo artist. And I'm like, well, that must mean they think he did a bad job or something's effed up or whatever. But I personally, I made this design. This is my design. I came up with this. I was seeing this in my head. If I would change anything, I probably would have changed the text on my dad's name, the font. But other than that, I love this. I really like it. Is that recently? I got this yesterday. This is less than right now, 24 hours ago, the needle probably just hit my skin. Into the Radius 2 is also awesome. I should probably put that on the list, guys. I really should. Glad that so that link is there, and those are both affiliate and non-affiliate links. Meta started doing something semi-annoying, so like I used to have all the friend links, but most people aren't, like, don't friend me on Quest, or I don't check the Quest invites very often. So you basically can't get my friend affiliate discount. Well, you can't get my Quest affiliate discount without being my friend. So there's other links there, but I try to include, you know, all the discounts I can and keep it updated as much as you guys. And some of them, obviously, some of them affiliate, I make money, some of them I don't. I have my dog paw print. You know what? I would love to do that. Probably in a not like very visible spot, but I don't know. Like not right now. And then I think about doing it like if he passes, but I'm like, oh, that'll fuck with my head. I love my dog too much. Oh, my dad passing. The anniversary of the 6-year anniversary just passed. He died right before my birthday. So yeah, he died right before COVID. And I'll be honest with you, COVID probably killed him. My dad had no luck. My dad was no, that's the wrong statement. My dad had all the luck. My dad had plenty of good and plenty of horrible luck. It evened out. He had all the luck. I'll tell you guys a story. My dad once won the lotto. Okay? Lotto ticket, and won a decent amount, like a nice amount of money. It moved the family from lower middle class to middle class. And then he worked hard his whole life and put money away and, you know, did good by his kids, and we turned out all right, I guess. So I thank him for all that. But yeah, it definitely, but he grew up super poor. Not super poor, but he grew up 7 people in a 3-room apartment. And that's not 3 bedrooms. I'm talking 3-room. I'm talking a bedroom, a living room, and a kitchen. Okay? 7 people in that. So that's how he grew up. So he grew up, you know, decently poor. And, you know, he was good with money, and he took care of my mom, and she's left off very well now. And, yeah, but he got, you know, he did something amazing, won the lottery, which no one ever does. And he also got one of the world's rarest cancers possible. So he had all the luck. Yeah, New York City. Yeah, actually, where he was growing up, it was Long Island City, Queens. They had these really weird apartments that are quite common in that area of Queens. They're called railroad apartments. And if you think about how a train is, just car, that's how the apartment building was. You would have a room. That's it. So, and even weirder, everyone would make their bedroom the middle room. So for people to go sit in the living room and watch TV, everyone had to walk through your bedroom. And the rooms were also narrow. So like, I'll stand up. I'll give you guys an example. So like, I'll use this wall as an example. Basically, your bed would make it to like, the wall would be somewhere over there, and the bed, you know, if you had a queen size bed, would probably be about here. So if you want to go in the living room, you have about this much space to go. So you kind of walk sideways. And that's how these apartments were in Queens, and it was weird. It was weird. And I remember one of my buddies telling me a story, like he went home with some girl one night, and she still lived with her family, and he had to like sneak by the parents' bed like that to get to the living room. Weird times, man. Big Ron, yeah. It's to see someone else write Big Ron is crazy. We used to call him Big Ron, you know, facetiously, or Notorious RON. Notorious, he is. Yeah. But you know, losing someone's part of life, and like I said, I was just really happy he didn't suffer. What's up, buttered bread? Buttered bread. You know, sorry for you to pop in on a sad note there, me talking about my dad, but I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm getting over a cold, so I don't know if you hear it in my voice. So I'm glad the stream is actually wrapping up because it's starting to hurt, and I need my voice next week. So I'm going to go have a nice cup of tea after this, go take the dog out, go get my kids, start cooking dinner, and that's my night. God knows when the wife's getting home. I'll take care of the kids. I'll, you know, just be a dad. But honestly, the best, if anyone out there is a parent, it is stressful. It is a pain in the ass. But the best thing I would say is don't fight it. Embrace it. And I've been through my ups and downs like everyone else has. But every time I've sat there and said, no, do the hard work. Connect with your kid. Play a game with them. But even if it's, the same mind-numbing thing they've done 100 times, tell yourself to shut the fuck up and go, who cares? You could be suffering right now. You could be whatever. You could be starving. Get in the moment with this kid, and just like try and think how they're thinking, get them to smile, have a great time. I can't tell you the most minute things my kid has done that has melted me, that has made me laugh so hard. But if you don't allow yourself to really experience those moments, then you'll never enjoy them. And you'll always be like, shit, I wish I was doing something else. I wish I was playing video games. I wish. If you're sitting there wishing for something else, you can't live in the moment and you're never going to be happy. Buttered bread, I'm sorry about your foot, man. That sucks. Being a husband is hard work too, dude. It is. I mean, think about it. You've decided to dedicate half of your life, a large portion of your life, whatever. Like, I don't want to say your life. I don't mean your lifespan. I mean your time. That person always has to be an aspect of your time. You can no longer make decisions for you. I now have to make decisions for 3 people and a dog, basically. Like, I can't gallivant and disappear for 10 hours because, I got to get my kids and my dog will starve, So, like, you always have to make decisions. You can no longer make decisions for yourself. But pros and cons. It's worth it, man. At least that's how I feel. Like, when I was younger, if my wife would have been like, I don't want to have kids, I would have been like, fine. I didn't have the itch. But once you have kids, man, it's something else. Like, you have no idea how much emotion they can get out of you, both bad and good, by the littlest things. And for those of you who don't have kids and don't want them or whatever, it doesn't matter. But the best way to describe it is, do you have a pet that you love? And if you have a pet that you love, it is that times 1,000. When your pet does something cute, you're like, oh, it's that times 1,000. When, like they do something cool and you're proud of them, it's that times 1,000. When responsibilities come, it's that times 1,000. Like, I can leave my dog alone in the house. I can't leave my 6-year-old. So it's different, man. I'm 18 years married now. Congrats, Mark. I'm coming up on 15. Yeah, 15. I'm coming up on 15 years. You don't have a partner or financial stability. It's rough, man. It's really rough. The most important thing to remember about kids, they're a minor. They literally mimic your actions and emotions. This is something I talked to my wife about. My wife is a sweetheart, but she's also, like, my wife is Serbian. She was in Serbia in the 90s. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. She came here to avoid the war as a foreign exchange student. They have, and also, like, she's ESL, English second language. So she could be quite harsh in the way she speaks. And like I try to explain, like, not like for years, it would hurt me just the way she speaks. But now I'll call her out on it and try and get her to understand it. But I see it has the same impact on my kids. And like, you don't know, with just a few words, you can completely demoralize a child, especially if they're a child that's high anxiety, or, you know, who really wants your respect, or, you know, they don't see my wife that much, so they really want our attention. So like, that can have such a strong impact. And that's one thing we're working on now. And I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to get, you know, like, listen, none of us are close to remotely perfect, you know, not even nowhere near. But you know, I'm trying to express. But that's been reinforced their whole life. I look at her family talk to each other, and you think they're like 5 seconds away from pulling knives out while they're in mid-conversation. When I first met them all, I'm like, what are you guys like? Why are you guys all ready to kill each other? We're talking normal. That's normal? Okay. Your normal ain't normal. But yeah, these conversations get deep and go sideways. And let's stick to VR for a little bit more before I say goodbye to you guys. Okay. Let's see. And pets, yeah. Well, pets are still pretty damn expensive, but it's the same thing. It's your pet times 1,000. All right. Let's see. Any news on the MMO? This is not an alcoholic beverage. There's no info that's going to slip out of me. Sorry, Arlen, that you had a crappy meeting. This is not an alcoholic beverage, so nothing's slipping out of me. Any news on MMORPG VR game? Yeah, I mean, I covered Eldrimor, which their Kickstarter is about to pop off, if it didn't pop off already. Eldrimor is an upcoming... it's going to be a while before it releases, but I demoed it, and they're not releasing until late 2026. So they have plenty of time to refine it, but I demoed it, and it's already looking solid. Like, it is... They have developers from Zenith. They have developers from Orbis. They have some people that used to work at Servios and Blizzard. So they have a good team there. I spent a lot of time talking to their almost like I don't know what her actual position is. Lynn's position. She's the CEO of the company, of the studio. I really don't know, but she's the head person, and she's you know, a really awesome chick, and she's promising, listen, we're gonna push this team, we're gonna deliver. She was really cool down there, and she actually lives quite close to me. So yeah. I think Eldrimor, you know, again, probably not my 100% style of game, but I think it is definitely a cool, you know, if you're looking for that type of game, if you like something like Orbis, but you want an upgrade, if you liked Zenith, but it really didn't scratch the itch, this is going to be the next game. If you're looking for, you know, like, I don't know, I'm not really up to date on the latest MMOs, but if you're looking for something that's like really like, you know, a bit more serious or darker themed MMO, it's probably not going to be the right game for you, but it does look like it's going to be solid. Martin, no problem, dude. I got to say, a lot of people gave me a ton of great feedback on that video. I was really scared to post it, and I honestly didn't look in like at the numbers or the response or anything till the next morning. I kind of let like 24 hours go by, and I woke up to hundreds of messages, and I was absolutely blown away. And there was not one jackass commenter in there. They probably would have been like beat to oblivion by other commenters if someone was there and being a jackass, but everyone was amazing. And the biggest thing was, so many people expressed that they were thankful and that they were going through similar struggles. So like, the world felt good. Like that day, the world felt like a good place, a place I wanted to live in. So that was great. Lou, I like you right back, brother. And this is not my first tattoo. This is my third. I have this. Like, I kind of only get tattoos for significant things. The mirroring is screwing up my brain. So this is this tattoo is now 18 years old. It's Korean. It says Yudan Ja, and it is it roughly translate to belt holder. That's what you call all the belt holders. Like, there's it's been a long time. I haven't practiced Taekwondo in quite some time. But like, I think it's like Kyosunim and different, you know, obviously first degree, second degree, belt holder. So Udanja is the category for all of them, to the best of my knowledge, unless I'm an idiot. This is what my instructor told me. So, you know, unless his Korean's terrible, or he's like, hey, let me get this white guy to put stupid letters on him. But I have had other Korean people at least read it and say, you know, like someone looked at it and said, oh, you're proficient in something. And I said, okay, I'll take it. If that's what it means, I'll take it. Another one was like, you know, but so I've heard things like that. So maybe there's a different translation specifically for Taekwondo, but that's what I've been told. And then I got another tattoo on my back when I was 17, because I was an idiot. Like, one of my friends got a tattoo. I was like, that's sick. I'd love to get a tattoo. And he was like, you would never get a tattoo. And I'm like, yes, I would. He got like a really cool angel on his arm. And I was like, that's sick. So he's like, you wouldn't? I'm like, yeah, I would. He's like, all right, let's go. And I'm like, so we go there and we're looking around and I'm just like, oh, that'd be cool if I got that on my back. And and I'm like, but I can't afford it. He's like, I'll pay for it. You just pay me back. And I'm like, it's going to take me a few weeks. And he's like, I don't care. And then I sat, and the next thing I know, I'm spending like 3 hours in the chair getting my back tattooed. So smart decisions, man. Mark, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, we all go through struggles. Travis popping in, or Ramvis popping in with his stupid questions like always. I love it, brother. It's gotta be macaroni salad for sure over potato salad. Definitely. What's the tattoo? Okay. So the tattoo on my back. So the tattoo on my back is my tramp stamp. So I got a dragon on my back. So I call it my tramp stamp because I can't see where the guy was tattooing, and I wanted a tattoo. I'll show it to you guys. I really don't care. I have zero shame. My back, though, I shaved my back and I got pimples. So that I'm more shameful of than anything else, than showing skin. But I'll show you guys my back. I don't think it's gonna interfere with like YouTube, or I'm gonna get in trouble for nudity or some shit. But I'll show you guys. But yeah, it was supposed to be like from here to here, like just kind of like up the side of my ribs, not that close to the side, but right on the back ribs. But it's way lower than it's supposed to be, and it's partially on my ass. So one more great job, and the guy who was doing it was high as a kite. So like, yeah, mistakes were made when I was a kid in New York City. This tattoo is 27 years old. All right. Just gonna, you know, crack his whack. So let me make sure my crack's not sticking out. And there it is. Crack is whack. Gotta make sure my crack wasn't sticking out. We sure you don't have an OnlyFans? Yeah, it is low, man. It's I'd say about this much is on my butt. Like probably about an inch, a full inch of it is on my butt. It really should have been about 2 inches higher. So crack is whack. So when everyone asks, what do you have on your back? I say I have a tramp stamp. Listen, I haven't seen it. I have no idea what it looks like. Seriously. I have no idea what it looks like. Like I said, it's 26, 27 years old. I can't see my back. When do I walk in front of a whole mirror like that? So, yeah. Stupid decisions. All right, I ran a little bit over what I normally do, guys. Thank you guys. It's so much fun. Like I said, it's amazing that you guys just come hang out with me and just chill. And some people subscribe during this stuff or even donate. You guys are insane when you do that. You used to do it and like make me blush all the time, and then I you know, you guys kind of scaled back, which I appreciate. But I do this full time. So obviously you guys being here, you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I do for a living if it wasn't for you guys. So I make content full time, and you guys have been amazing. I can't do without you guys. I'll drop that link one more time if you guys are looking for any games or hardware. This is all the games, hardware that I recommend. Some of it's affiliate links, so it helps me out. Some of them have discount codes, like B-Haptics and stuff. I have like 10% discount codes. Nothing amazing. I think the best discount code I have on there is like 20% off the X Arcade, which I showed off. But this stuff isn't cheap, so you know, if it's something you're looking for, you know, I'm trying to benefit you guys, and if I get a few extra bucks in the process, that's great too. You know, I always aim for mutual beneficial stuff with anyone I work with or whatever. But again, guys, just a huge thank you. I can't do this without you guys. So much fun hanging out. We got into some weird conversations and I love it. Thank you guys. Probably no stream next week because I'm at AWE unless I hot tub stream with some other content creators. Yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Make sure to thumbs up this video. Best way you can support me, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I got a video dropping. I got a list dropping tomorrow. Peace out, boys. Check out this end screen. And that was today's stream, guys. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. You guys mean the world to me. I hope I did a good job answering all of your questions. And if you want to help support me, the easiest ways are always to leave a comment, throw a thumbs up, subscribe, or if you're one of those crazy people who likes to burn money on me, why not use one of my affiliate links for a discount on some accessories? Maybe become a Patreon or YouTube member. And finally, I have a merch shop with items that no one has ever bought before. Again, thanks for hanging out, guys, and of course, I'll see you on next time.